I know what it feels like to have your heart shattered in 1,000 pieces. I know what it feels like when you're trying to do the best you can and somebody just rips out your heart. They rip it out, they toss it on the ground, they stomp on it, they spit on it. I know what that feels like. And when these things happen, we have a tendency to not only just internalize what happened, but then we we internalize it and then also turn it on ourselves, if that makes sense. Right? We play over and over again, well, what did I do wrong? Why would they leave me? Why would they hurt me? Why would they cheat on me? Why would they turn their back on me? Why would they leave me out in the cold? At this time, when we've been through so much, we have so much history. I know what that feels like. And then you replay those things, you replay how people hurt you so much and so often that, like the friend said of Job, surely you must have done something wrong. You start to say to yourself, I had to do something wrong. I had to do something wrong. Why would people hurt me like this? Let me be the first to tell you that people don't need a reason to hurt you. People don't need a reason to hurt you. There are some folks where it's just in their nature, whether that be they suffered so much hurt, right? There's this saying that hurt people hurt people. They may have gone through so much in their own lives where they no longer know how to love somebody else. When I say love somebody else, I mean that romantically, and I also mean that in a friendship way as well. There's some people who can't maintain friendships because of how they have been abandoned in their life, because of a lack of a, a parental structure in their life, because of a lack of a proper family structure in their life. So they didn't receive. I make this joke all the time. Well, that person didn't get hugged enough. They didn't get enough hugs. That's why they treat people so mean. But there are really some people who they didn't get loved on enough as a kid, and so because they never had that example of love, they can't love you. So when someone hurts you, when someone turns their back on you, you have to understand. You have to look at, okay, did this person receive, once you get out of your feelings, right? Because you're going to feel your feels. You're going to feel your feelings. You're going to feel upset. You're going to feel hurt. You're going to feel betrayed. But once you can take a step out of that, you have to ask yourself, did this person that hurt me, did they receive the kind of love that I want them to give to me? And if there was a void of love in their own life, you can't expect someone to love you. You can't expect someone to befriend you. You can't expect even certain family members to care about you and love on you and care for you in the way you want to be cared for if they didn't receive that example themselves. Now, some of us are lucky. Some of us, like I didn't have a father figure. My biological mother left me with my aunt, who I call my mother to this day. Right? So I had some examples of love, but then I had to eventually just figure out, okay, well, this is how I want to be treated. So let me go and try and love people the way I want to be treated. But not everybody can do that. Some people need some help to do that. Not everybody has the wherewithal to say, okay, let me treat people the way I want to be treated, even though I didn't have that example. Not everybody can do that. You know, by the grace of God, I could look at other examples around me outside of my family, and that's how I learned how to love my family, how to love my wife. I Romero says, got it. I hope you got it, but I'm not done yet. And those folks who didn't have that example, and this is going to be a tough pill to swallow. You have to excuse them and forgive them. I know that's tough to swallow. You have to excuse them and forgive them. Now, that doesn't mean you stick around and continually get hurt. Once someone stabs you in the back, you don't turn around and let them stab you in the chest too. That doesn't mean that. But it means for your sake, for your sanity, you have to see as much as you can, put yourself in their shoes and examine how they may have grown up as best as you can. And say, you know what? They didn't have it. So people can't give you what they don't, what they wasn't instilled in them to give. People can only give you what they have been instilled with. So that's where you have to let that go, and you have to forgive them. You don't forgive them, oh, wow, that makes me soft. No, you're not soft to forgive. It takes strength to forgive. It takes strength to say, you hurt me. I acknowledge that you hurt me. I forgive you because you didn't know what you were doing. However, I do have to move on, though. I'm not going to stay here and continually be hurt. I'm going to move on, but I forgive you. And once you can truly forgive someone, that's why you have to put yourself in their shoes. Once you can truly forgive somebody for hurting you, then you can forgive yourself and move forward. And love will open up in your life. Other opportunities will open up in your life. You won't be stuck in it once you forgive. And then there's also a price that they have to pay. There's a price that they have to pay. And that's has nothing to do with you, right? Because see, the people who hurt you, they're going to go and do it to somebody else. And then they're going to go and do it to somebody. They're going to continue. There'll be this pattern of them using people. And they're going to continually do it. And eventually they'll push everybody away. And the price is isolation. The price is nobody wants to deal with you. The price is nobody wants to fool with you. The price is you have to suffer in a corner by yourself. The price is, for a lack of better words, God may put that person on timeout. You know how I put my kids in timeout. When they act up too much, they go and tell me they got to face the corner until they can come out and act right. God may place those people in a corner somewhere until they can turn away from their ways. And that's just, they have to deal with whatever punishment there is. They have to deal with their own family turning on them. They have to deal with someone doing it to them. They have to deal with just being alone until they can go get the therapy that they need, get the life coaching that they need, get the spiritual counseling that they need. That's them feel, okay, I'm ready to leave out of timeout. Let me go get help. Let me go apologize. And guess what? Even if they don't apologize, you've already forgiven them. You move on. Don't expect an apology. Sometimes we sit and wait for, oh, they better apologize. They better say sorry. Why are you waiting on the sorry? Move on with your life. Let them deal with the price of hurting you, and you move on. The best thing you can do is move on. And your silence towards them speaks volumes. That's another price they have to pay. They no longer get to be in your circle. They no longer get to be in friendship with you. They no longer get to break bread with you. They no longer get access to you all hours of the day. They no longer get phone calls and response to phone calls, response to text messages, and response to voicemails. They no longer get to come to your house. Because I'm not going to allow you in to then hurt me, to then go and talk bad about me, to then go and spread rumors about me, to then go and do something that's going to hurt me. I'm not going to allow that. That's the price you have to pay. And be okay with that. That's not mean. That's not you. Once you forgive them, that's not being unforgiving. That's not you being nasty. That's not an eye for an eye. That's you protecting your peace. You now have to forgive and protect your peace. Forgive and protect your heart. Forgive and set some boundaries. And so, right, Chris Brown says, oh, you on the outside looking in, right? You can't get into the club. You don't let them into the club no more. They're on the outside looking in. That's the price. That's the price of you hurting me. I don't allow people to continually hurt me. And that's what you have to say to them. And you say it in words and you say it in actions. So, hope you get the message. I hope that you don't continually allow people to hurt you. I hope that you show them what it costs for hurting you through setting the appropriate boundaries. And move on and live your life according to how God has set for you. Move forward and live the abundant life that God wants for you. Don't stay stuck too long and hurt. Don't stay stuck on the past for too long. Maybe that's the next video. Don't stay stuck in your past. But all right, I've been on here for a little bit too long. Think about it. Y'all take care.